All right, guys. I think we are live. There's always a minor delay, you know, when you go on OBS until it shows officially on my screen. I think I see it running now, so we should be live. But we'll wait a few minutes, man, to allow you guys to get up in here a little more until I see somebody pop up in the chat. But for you guys who are here early, welcome to the latest episode of the Sim Standard Podcast with myself, SimFBallCritic, along with Smitty and AzureEffect when AzureEffect is able to make it. And tonight, guys, we may have a few guests. I know we have a couple people who've hit us up that say they want to come on, and I do see you guys are in here, so we'll go ahead and get started. But we may have a couple guests come on tonight. You know, Brett Lee, you guys know that he's been here before, former EA game changer, but a former EA developer. So we'll have him on hopefully later in maybe the second half of the show. And then we have another one of our faithful viewers on Twitter. He goes by the name of @NightmareHawk. He has a few topics that he wants to discuss. Basically, he gave us the topics for the night, so we definitely allowed that. So whenever he's available, if you're listening, man, just hit me up on Skype. I believe I already have you as a contact, so just shoot me a chat in there, and if not, just send me a request and we'll get you on. But outside of that, guys, y'all know the routine, man. We're going to talk a little bit about our football teams really quick. Then after that, we'll get into the topics. And, you know, I said this a couple weeks ago, man, but I'm going to say it again. You know, Smitty and I, we don't always have a ton to talk about, and I don't think, you know, we should really stick to the set length of time. You know, we try to do things from 8 to 10, but if it doesn't go to 10 o'clock, man, no big deal. We're not going to try to force it anymore. You know, podcasts and things like that are supposed to be organic. So we'll just talk, and if we run, you know, if we don't have nothing else to talk about and it's only been an hour, we'll holler at y'all next week. If it goes 2 hours, great. We'll holler at you next week. So that's how we pretty much going to do it. I know Smitty's a little bit under the weather as well, man. So, you know, it might be one of those shows where it's not that much going on, but show must go on. So that's why we're here. But anyway, guys, I'll kick it off to Smitty real quick. We'll discuss a little bit of football action. He'll talk a little bit about his Lions. I'll talk a little bit about the Steelers. And then we'll dive into the topics that we have for you guys tonight. As far as the topic order, I know Nighthawk wanted to talk about the college football playoffs. He wanted to talk about the college football championship games coming up. We'll let him kick that off when he comes on. We'll talk a little bit of Battlefield 5. We'll also talk about the Madden 19 Playbook update. You know, me and Smitty can tackle that if Nighthawk is not available by the time we get there. Maybe we'll start off with that. And we'll, you know, maybe just give a quick overview of what we think about Madden right now. You guys probably have figured it out, how we're currently feeling about the game. And then that's it. You know, that's all we got tonight, unless you guys come up with some type of topics in the chat that, patches versus tuners. I want to hit that as well at some point throughout the show. And, you know, it kind of makes me think a bit. And I'll tie that into the little Playbook update that Madden recently had. But outside of that, Smitty, man, I'll kick it to you first. How's your week? I know you're a little bit under the weather as well, so I pretty much know that part. But how you currently feeling about those Detroit Lions?
I mean, you know, the way I feel basically is that the season, you know, it's pretty much a wrap as far as the season is concerned at this point, or I should say as far as I'm concerned with the season. You know, I'm looking for like Sunday's not going to be fun. You know what I mean?
Who they got Sunday?
Rams.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And even though they're in Detroit, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. Our defense, all the aspects of our game that are weak are going to get fully exploited. I mean, they are going to get exploited. So, you know, shoot, I really don't have much of anything to say. I mean, they're in rebuild mode. You know, at this point, maybe trying to find a deal for Stafford may work at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like in the off season, and see what you know, see what possibly may be out there for us to start over again. Because I mean, that real talk, that's essentially it. That's all that we got right now. Because we basically have been getting drummed game after game after game. You know, I mean, we beat the Panthers, which was a surprise, but then the Bears just shut us down Thanksgiving. So it's like, you know, whatever. I'm not expecting, especially this Lions team, the way they are right now. I wasn't expecting them to be, to come through and just run it like that. So, but yeah, next game we got the Lions, and then after that, I mean, we got Cardinals. Our last home game is against the Vikings. That's right before Christmas. So we got the Cardinals, the Bills, Vikings at home, and then we close it out with the Pack on the 30th in Green Bay. So I mean, 4 games. Well, excuse me, these 5 games. I'll give the Lions a shot against the Cards and the Bills, but otherwise, yeah, these next few games, I feel very confident they'll lose all of them. So that's where it's at right now. I mean, I've laid it out like a carpet in regards to the team and what we need. I'm not gonna sit here and have this expectation like we're supposed to win out and we're supposed to beat all these teams like we're actually that dang on good, and we're not that good. You know what I'm saying? We need a lot of work on our team to get better. So it is what it is with that. But I will say, as far as the Pistons are concerned, now they're rolling a little bit. They're developing some chemistry. Blake Griffin is turning it up for us. Drummond's kind of struggling a little bit. But I will say that Stanley Johnson is definitely stepping up. This guy was looking more of an outsider looking in kind of player, but he's definitely stepping it up right now. So I'm very, I like how he's coming through. He's stepping up. So I want to see him step his game up tenfold and keep it going. Be a consistent, guy off the bench, a key piece for our squad. But yeah, we can roll. We can do some damage. I'm not saying that we're a number one in the East kind of team, but at the same time, we can also do a lot better and do some real damage in the East as well. Possibly come out as, like, I would say maybe a third. I would say third seed would be pushing it, but I could see us as a fourth. But depending upon how we push, because got some good competition out there as well. But it's pretty easy. Pretty easy. It's pretty early in the season still. To really pass that judgment right now. So I'll throw it to you, Sil.
Yeah, man, that's interesting. Talking about the East and as far as basketball, I'll say my piece on that really, really quick. Yeah, even my Sixers look like they done turned it around a little bit, man. I looked last night. I think they're sitting at 15-8, third in the East. Okay, we'll see. I'm still concerned with their bench though. I think that's going to be the the kryptonite the further you go in the season, because all it takes is an injury. But even outside of that, man, when you start facing off against teams with depth, I mean, yeah, you already know that's going to be a tough hill to climb. But we'll see. Football season is slowly approaching closely to being winding down, and then I'll focus on basketball after that. As far as football, man, I'll keep it very brief, guys. With doing 2 podcasts in a week dedicated to the Steelers, I don't want to overload you guys with that, so I'll be really, really quick, and I mean what I say when I say quick this time. Listen, the next few games are going to let me know what type of team they are. I've been saying it all along. I think the Steelers are very talented offensively. I think they're still up in the air defensively. It just is what it is. It just as when you thought the defense looked better, you see situations where even Joe Hayden was getting himself roasted by Emmanuel Sanders. You saw some holes in the linebacker coverage on wheel routes and such, which has been a problem. We already know that. The test is going to be Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady. We still have to play all three of those guys. That's going to let me know if the Steelers can actually compete in the playoffs. I'm not scared about the offense. It's more so the defense. Ben Roethlisberger is getting on my nerves once again with his turnovers. He just seems to always want to force the ball to Antonio Brown. And I'm not happy about the comments he made yesterday, I believe, where I understand him getting on James Washington. You know, James Washington, for you guys who saw that game, yeah, he probably should have kept running, run through that catch. It's a catch, and you score. Instead, he decided to dive for no reason and dropped it. But I didn't like Ben Roethlisberger making the comments about AB, you know, saying, oh, he should have, you know, he was supposed to run a flatter route. You know, but Ben Roethlisberger has that passive-aggressive attitude. You know, he's always semi-throwing somebody under the bus and then try to pull it back. I just don't like that. You know, why would you say that about AB? You know, even if that was the case, I just don't like how he volunteers information to make it a story. So, I don't know, man. But like I said, we're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see. And I think the Chargers, listen, the Chargers is like that. Now, last thing I'm going to say about that, people are saying, oh, you got to look at the schedules. People have been played. Listen, man, you have to play the teams that are in front of you, and they're all NFL teams. Sometimes you get an easier schedule. Sometimes you get a harder schedule. And I know that's what they've been trying to throw at the Chargers, is saying they haven't really played the best of competition. They caught Kansas City early, et cetera, et cetera. But what I'm seeing out of those guys, they got defense, they got offense. They're going to be a problem. Would not be surprised if they come into Heinz Field Sunday night and they give us a butt kicking. Would not surprise me at all. I'm still scared about the defense that we have. So, we'll see. We shall see. But that's about it, guys, as far as the football front. Let's go ahead and jump in to the next topics here. We're going to go ahead and get Nightmare Hawk on the line here. Give me a second. And like I said, we're going to basically let him head, you know, the college football talks and even the Battlefield 5 front, you know, because, again, this is what we like. You know, he's a viewer of ours. You know, we're a fan of his as well. But I like when you guys give us the topics and drive the conversation. That's what we want this show to be about, because me and Smitty ain't always got a lot to talk about. So, let's do it. Let me see here. Let's get him on. Give me just a second. We'll add him to the call here. All right. We are calling. Yo, yo. Whoa. Got a crazy echo. Yo, Smitty, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, we got a crazy echo in the background, Hawk. I don't know what that is. You hear that, Smitty, on your side?
Yeah, I hear it. It sounds like we're in a hallway.
Oh, that sounds funny when I laugh right there. All right, Hawk, man, we gonna remove you from the call momentarily, man. We're gonna try you back here in a second. Yikes. All right, so Smitty is still here.
Yep.
All right, guys, let's give it a try once again. Oh, here he is. There he is. There he is. We don't have, well, we have it, but we don't necessarily do video anymore either. I don't know if you're trying to connect video, but we still got that echo going on.
Yeah.
That joint sound crazy. It sounds like our voices got transformed. Alright, hold on. What we gonna do really quick, Hawk? I'm gonna, let me see, I'm gonna mute it. And then just shoot us a chat. Shoot us a message in the chat and let us know when you think it might be up and running, and we'll get you back on. Pete said we fell into a well. Yeah, that joint was like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. All right, man, so while we wait for Nightmare Hawk to get situated with the audio, Smitty, man, let's talk a little bit about this Madden stuff, man. I know you got some things to get off your chest. He says he's rebooting his computer, so we'll get you back on in a minute.
All right.
Let me say my quick piece really quick, man, in terms of the playbooks. Here's the thing that's interesting, Smitty. So we're getting all of these updates, and I've heard in the past that there would be a lot of updates. I've been hearing some things in the background. I don't really, don't want to really say so much because I don't know, who it affects or whatever. But I will say this: there's no secret, there's no surprise to me why they're doing so many patches, and there's ultimately a goal behind it. But what struck very interesting to me, Smitty, was the fact that I went back and I listened to, and you actually told me that they still do it. I didn't know that they still came on, Twitch, and they talked about each update. So I went back on their Twitch page and I looked at the most recent one, not the tuner, but the patch that was in October, and whenever it was. I don't know. I'm losing track of days now, but the most recent patch, not the tuner that came out, but the patch. And I heard Clint talking about how they're able to get playbooks and stuff in now. And it's interesting to me because I know when I was down there, and some of this as well, Smitty, and we can't divulge too much, guys, because we don't know, what type of stuff, shouldn't be out in the public per se, based on private conversation. But there's some hiccups that they ran into in the past where they couldn't just simply update playbooks. They couldn't rip stuff out as simple and easy as we thought they could. Fast forward to now, Clint is saying now they have it to where they can update playbooks on the fly. They can update playbooks throughout the year, throughout the week even. At any given time, they can make adjustments. They can add stuff. They can add routes, etc., etc. So it made me think when he explained the difference between patches and tuners. And we kind of knew this already, but for you guys that don't, a patch, of course, is when they have to change something to the code. There's code that has to be reworked, rewritten, etc., etc. A tuner is when they don't have to touch any code base. They're basically just doing exactly that. They're tuning something up or down, trying to find balance in a feature. They could do that whenever they want. It doesn't have to go through certification. But the point I'm making, and I know sounds like I'm talking around and around and around, but what was interesting to me, Smitty, is the fact that they could literally make those type of changes in a patch. It makes me further believe that there's a lot of things that just gets held back in that building. Because if you can do something like that in a patch, and Smitty probably knows what my thought process in saying this. How many years have we heard, oh, that's something that we got to do next year. We won't be able to get to this. It's not something that can be in the current game because that's going to, that's a cycle work for work. Let me tell y'all a secret. The playbook stuff is usually something that would have been said, oh, we're going to have to get to that next time. So now, I'm under the impression, and I could be dead wrong, there's way more stuff that could actually be adjusted in a patch that just doesn't happen. And I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, I like patches to the point to where it does help when there's things that are broken. But I do still feel like that patches tend to ruin things because they don't seem to just fix problems when they patch. They seem to, try to cater to certain feedback from whatever group, whether it's us or, the comp crap, whoever it is, and it seems to break other things. So I don't know, man. I kind of feel like Smitty I still just feel like it's a whole lot of stuff, man, that they kind of hold back on and they don't necessarily have to. But what was your initial thoughts, man, seeing that they could add something like, totally rechange the way they add and adjust playbooks in the patch? You think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Now, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for sure, but hold up a sec. All right, I want to clear my throat on the mic here, but it's a good thing. But at the same time, it's like, why did it take so long? You know what I'm saying? Like, what took you so long to finally get with the times?
That's what I'm
Reason
saying.
why, you know what I'm saying? And see, the thing is, look, I got to give Ryan Moody credit. This is something I said to Sim earlier, right before we got on here. Got to give Moody credit because one thing that Moody was talking about, he made a point. He did a video maybe yesterday or something like that, and I came across it, looking up some APF stuff, saw it on YouTube, whatever. And I watched, and he was talking about off-ball injuries. And you look at, shout out to my man 2K Football Now, or what have you. I could be saying his name wrong. But shout out to him because he posts all these clips. He posted a montage of off-ball injuries. Players grabbing their thigh, grabbing their leg, coming up limp, all that stuff, right? My thing is, okay, I'm cool with all that stuff happening. But see, the thing is, we don't have it like that in Madden in 2018 when that was done back in 2007. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you'll have players. We just got an injury banner going across the top that just says so and so is injured. Why? What happened? You go into the instant replay and look at the play, and there's nothing there that constitutes as to why. Why did this guy go down? What activity was he doing in order for him to go down for?
Right.
And there's, it's just there's nothing at all to that. And see, the part that's even crazier is that in what was I gonna say? Oh, Clinton Rex had tweeted about it back then. How Clint fought so hard to get the injuries in there and everything. And it's like, but it's there, but it's more of a notification. It's not even, we don't see anything. And he had to fight hard for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why did he have to fight so hard to get so little? You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that just really irks me because I'm like, well, like, if he has to fight that hard for something that minuscule, you know what I'm saying? What about something major? What about some actual injuries that happen in game or like having people to actually get hurt on the field during play and everything else like that, instead of it all just being player contact only. Like that, it's just very irritating, man. Because I expect more at this point. I mean, it's 2018, and like what Sim just said. Oh, we can update playbooks and stuff in the game. Okay, cool. That's nice. They got it. If you go to Czar, go to his channel. This dude is doing breakdowns. Hey, we updated the New York Knicks playbook. What? Like, it's just routine. He's just routinely able to get up there and just start talking about it. Like, oh yeah, we updated this. Yep, we updated that. We updated it. How come we can't get that happen with Madden though? When it comes to Madden, we got to treat it like something special and happen. Like they just broke down the fourth wall in terms of EA doing it. At least when it comes to Madden, it's like, come on, man. We got to have more than that at this point. Like that should not be some big time fine discovery that we're just now making. And it's like, yo, look what these guys have done. Look what EA done pulled off. Like, come on, dude. Should be doing way more than that at this point. That should be small fries right there at this juncture. And I'm like, when are we going to get that? When are we going to get that kind of detail happening in the game? And this is another point too. I made, I was talking with Sim. I was having a discussion with some fellas talking about, talking about zone coverage and all that good stuff. I talked with Kia as well. My thing is, how in Madden are we really like when I should say when in Madden will we be able to truly distinguish good, average, elite, and poor play when it comes to zone or man defense? Because the way it all works, it's very script. There is no improvise. And I mean, as A-Dub broke it down when they added the rules and all that good stuff that he added to the game and everything when it comes to how coverage is played. Yes, it's done the right way. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But there needs to be levels of improv with it as well. And we don't have any of that right now. Like, why not? Why don't we see guys? Why don't we see, like, for example, Sim made a great point about Ed Reed. He made a point about Ed Reed and how he covers. Like, he'll sell you a look, and then what he actually does is something else. You know what I'm saying? But it still is within the confines of that particular play, regardless of what kind of defensive coverage it is that he's in. And I'm saying when you have stuff like that in your game, that's how you can truly differentiate, defensive play. Like, you can truly see who's the best at what. You know what I'm saying? Who's great at what kind of zone play. You know what I'm saying? When you do that kind of stuff, you're adding dynamic levels to your defensive play in the game. That's something that we don't truly have in Madden right now, and we don't. It sucks. I wish we did, but it just sucks right now because we don't. And that's why this game looks and it feels so, so manuscripted. Yeah. It's a very manuscripted game. Call this play. Call this defense. Play this way. Go to this zone. Drop down here. Like, I literally had... Okay, I'll explain this real quick, and then I'll throw it back to Sim. All right. Call cover 2... not cover 2, excuse me. Cover 4 palms, okay? Cover 4 palms out of 4-3, okay? Now, out of 4-3, what the problem is that I have is that offensively, tight end ran to the middle, where the middle linebacker is, or your Mike. Okay? Outside linebacker is playing the quarter flat. There was no one to take up the seam. There was somebody in the flat. He takes number 3 initially, and then the Mike's supposed to take number 3 the rest of the way. The problem that I have with it is not the rules. I don't care about that. The rules are fine. The problem is that you literally have a receiver, a tight end, who runs to the middle of your zone on a hook, sits down right there, and you just say, skip it, I'm going to run all the way down here to the flat and pick up this halfback that I already have my outside linebacker teammate already covering. So it's like, why not showcase a level of awareness to be like, okay, let me try to play the middle. Not, I'm just going to blindly run over there. Because if you do that, you're going to get gashed for like several yards every time in the middle. Because they just blindly retreat. And it's like, can they showcase a level of dynamic play? And that's what I'm saying. You don't have to, I'm not saying be an elite middle linebacker. I'm not saying you got to be elite, but what I'm saying is there needs to be levels of logic, because when you look at the play art has designated zones that they go to by default anyway. So why not? You already have the rules they follow, which will have them break off of their zones anyway. So why not allow them to process the same logic and be able to improvise on the field too? I'm not saying dudes run amok and go crazy, excuse me, but they should have more of a freelancing thinking on their own, so to speak, in terms of decision making on the field, i.e., what Ignite was supposed to be years ago. If y'all remember that, 60 calculations a second, players thinking and making all that stuff, doing all that on their own. So, but I digress. So go ahead, Sim. I'll throw it to you, brother.
Yeah, man, it's very simple. And then after that, we're gonna get Nightmare Hawk on. I think we got him straight now. It's it's as simple as this. Smitty posted the example. It's an area that a lot of us, conversate in. A lot of guys who are in the program and direct feedback to the devs. And then a lot of times me, him, and Kia and Azure, we talk privately, offline, in DMs and things like that. And just to make it very simple, in case anybody hears this, the rules played out the way they were supposed to. Okay? I commented on it, Kia commented on it, a couple other people. But the thing is, what Smitty is saying, where Madden lacks is, it lacks the intelligent awareness, and not only just the intelligence, but just the natural diagnosing of a play. We see it all the time in real football. Listen, I just saw it this past weekend with the Steelers in zone coverage. Quite often, watching the all 22, I end up seeing 2 or 3 people in the same spot. Why is that, you might ask? Okay, well, it's because everybody has a responsibility, but some guy decides, oh, I think I see what's coming here. He reads it. Somebody's in his area. He jumps it, vacates another part of the field. And that's natural. That's what happens in football. You have some players who are disciplined, some players who want to be a hero, some players who think they see something that's coming, and you just don't see that in Madden. Madden right now is so vanilla. It's either drop to your spot, and that's it. There's don't make nothing happen. Just drop to your spot and just sit there and wait. What they really need, Smitty, in my opinion, they need some. And I'm just trying to speak from Madden terms, guys. So bear with me, because we kind of understand how some of their systems work. In the meantime, what they need to do is kind of have that coverage work sort of like how the blocking works, the targeting system. Keep all of the rules, keep all of the logic, but they need something like the targeting system to where, okay, this is what you should do. This is what you should look for. Look for the number 3, look for the number 2, etc., etc. But if somebody pops in your area, then you need to cover that guy. Don't just allow the closest person to you to just, or whoever you might deem as a threat, to just do what they want to do, because in your mind you just have to go. Don't just blindly cover the area that the play tells you to cover. Use some type of logic, at least. Or can we see more passing, guys in, passing off a player into the zone, more pushes, more jostles, things like that, chucking the player. That's what's missing from the game. In terms of the coverage, and just logic. The logic component is not there. And the reason why I beef about it so much, Smitty knows this, because even, this ain't no shot to him, but even Clint says a lot publicly, the AI is one of his biggest things that he wants to improve. And I'm like, I know you guys want to do it, but I've just gotten to the point, man, where I'm going to be surprised just like the rest of y'all. I'm going to say that real quick before I get my man Nightmare on. At this point with Madden, man, because we can clear this Madden talk unless we come back to it later in the show. I'm at the point where I'm just as surprised as y'all now. I have no confidence. I have full confidence in the devs, but I just have no confidence as to what will be allowed to happen in EA Tiburon. That's where I'm at with it. Like, I've seen this song and dance so many times. And again, it's not Clint's fault. It's not A-Dub's fault. It's not Scant's fault. It's not RG's fault. And many other people. my man Rod. It's none of these guys' fault. They can only do what they can do. And that's why I'm where I am with it. I ain't thinking about Madden until I see the culture change in that building. That's why I say Madden 20 is going to tell me a lot about the direction of that game. And that's just real talk. And remember I said that because I'm sure we'll be revisiting this conversation months from now. But, all right, man. Let's get our man on here, man. I think he's straight now. I'm going to unmute his phone and get him up in here. For some reason, it won't let me unmute. Yo, Hawk, can you unmute? There you go. He's unmuted on his side. What's going on, man?
What up, man? Long time no see. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, perfect. Great. Sorry about the PC. It was acting funny, so I had to do it from the smartphone, so here we go. All right, guys. I just want to say I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Everyone had a happy Black Friday. Everybody had a happy Cyber Monday because, guys, we got a lot of college football to cover. Lots. First thing I want to ask, though, Smitty, did you buy anything on Cyber Monday or Black Friday?
Actually, I didn't. For the first time in a long time, I didn't buy nothing this year.
You didn't buy anything? Okay.
No, I was chilling.
All right, well, I hope you guys were disappointed as I was in that Ohio State-Michigan game. That game was absolutely atrocious. I turned that game completely off after what Ohio State did. I mean, that was just absolutely a disgusting display by Michigan I've ever seen in my life. Most overhyped game we've ever witnessed, guys. That was just a debacle. But I want to talk about something very important, though. This debate about Ohio State and Oklahoma, if Georgia loses on Saturday, because I'm ready for championship weekend, by the way. I don't think either of those teams deserve to get the 4th spot, and this is just me. Now, I've already got my share of hate mail in my DMs on Twitter. We ain't got to go there. But anyway, I think that if Oklahoma does avenge their loss against Texas, and this is how I feel about it, I don't think either of those teams over this course of this season have proven to me, just me personally, I don't know what you and Smitty think, we'll get y'all take in a minute, but my theory is Oklahoma's defense is the worst I have ever seen it in 15 years I've been watching college football. I mean, this defense is atrocious. Giving up 40 points per game to their opponent. I mean, I believe right now, guys, you, me, Smitty, and the rest of the guys in the chat can go out there and play Oklahoma's defense right now, put up 40 points. I mean, that's how bad their defense is. Now, granted, Kyler Murray is carrying that team, and I think he should win the Heisman. I mean, I know everybody's going to say Tua is that guy, but I think Kyler Murray's doing a lot better. He's putting up way better numbers than Tua. And honestly, if you take Kyler Murray's numbers and just take the 4th quarter out of all of his games, him and Tua are tied with the same amount of passing yards, completion percentage, touchdowns, and the interception ratio. So that's why I say Kyler Murray's my Heisman Trophy candidate. Now, he has to beat Texas on Saturday, obviously, to secure it, in my book, because if he loses, that goes to Tua, obviously. And now on Ohio State. Now, we are all prisoners of the moment. Everybody wants to talk about Ohio State's back, and they should be in if they beat Northwestern on Saturday. But has everybody forgotten this was the same Ohio State team that got their butts kicked by Purdue a month ago? And this was the same Ohio State team that 2 weeks ago gave up 50 points to Maryland. Yeah, the Maryland Terrapins that just got blown out by Penn State. Yeah, that Maryland team. So, honestly, guys, I hope Ohio State and Oklahoma lose because I hope the committee would do the right thing and get UCF in. I know everybody's going to say their schedule is poor, they haven't played anybody, blah, blah, blah. But come on, man. They would have won 25 straight games in a row, dating back to last year. They'd be the only undefeated team for 2 straight years in a row. And you mean to tell me that we want to have this debate that Georgia should get back in? They'd have 2 losses. Oklahoma should get in? They would have 2 losses. Ohio State would have 2 losses and would have won the conference championship. Neither would have Oklahoma. And UCF sitting there undefeated like, what about us? hey, we're undefeated. They should get the nod. I don't believe Georgia should get another shot at the Final Four if they lose. I don't think that should be right because basically, to me, I think the committee, you're basically saying that conference championships don't matter. Whether you go undefeated doesn't matter. I mean, come on. Really? You're going to put a non-conference champion in the Final Four? Come on. But that's just me, though. And I know I see you, NYK. I see your comment right there. I get it. But that's just my opinion. That's just me. But Sim, you can go ahead and take it from here. What do you think?
Yeah, man, I'm glad you. That's exactly why I was happy you wanted to come on. I haven't followed college as much, but I have, peeked at it, and I can clearly see who some of the best teams are. It always cracks me up around this time of year, man, because I really feel like, and most of us probably know this, the college thing. It's such a money situation, man. I know that's involved with all of this, the bids and who should get in. Because like you said, UCF is balling. You can't knock their record. I don't know if I kind of see where Kia's coming from as well. I don't know if those guys, really have a shot. But I've always felt like if a team is undefeated, like I hate seeing teams be undefeated in college, right? And then there's a team that has one loss and sometimes 2 losses, and they still get in. I hate that. And I hate the whole strength of schedule thing because I was telling my brother the other day, whatever week that was, a couple weeks ago, Alabama played the Citadel. I said, how in the world? Now, for people that don't know, the Citadel is a military college in Charleston, South Carolina. How is it possible that Alabama plays them on the schedule? And my brother and my dad both say it's money. Come on, man. You already know. That guarantees them a win. You know what I mean? It's so political when it comes to college football. It just bothers me, man. But I agree 100%. I feel like there's some teams that should get a shot. If I'm looking at the eye test, I could definitely see how a team like Oklahoma deserves it. Alabama, even though I'm ragging on them a little bit about playing the Citadel, they still powerful. I don't know who's going to beat them, to be honest with you. I'm not sure they lose.
So you think Oklahoma, with that atrocious defense, deserves to get in over Ohio State? Really?
Nah, I wouldn't say over Ohio State. Like I said, I don't know, man. I don't know if to be fair, I don't watch it closely enough, like every week to know, who should and who shouldn't. But I could see, I guess I could see the hype train around Oklahoma.
Oh, God, I can't, man. That defense is the worst I've ever seen that team in the history of my years watching college. I've been watching college football for 15 to 20 years, Sim. This is atrocious, man. They've given up more points than Alabama's given up in one calendar year, bro.
Yeah,
in 1 month. That's a lot of points.
That's a problem. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like my man here in the chat is saying, I feel like it is fixed, man. I hate to say that. I just feel like it's too political when it comes to the polling and the who gets the bid, and I don't understand it. I've never understood that. Even when, before they even had the playoffs, I still never liked that point system and how they ranked it. Because I don't know. I'm still more of a any given day type of guy. Like, as much as I say UCF doesn't have a chance, in college basketball, we didn't think that Virginia was going to go down that fast either. In the little old school in Baltimore, so it's like, I just feel like the guys who are undefeated, they need another system, in my opinion. Maybe you need like a sub playoffs to where if you're not in the big, conferences or whatever, but you're undefeated, maybe there's another game that you could play to win your bid to get in or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how they would do it, but I don't like the 4-team thing, period. I think it should be a little more than that.
Okay. What do you think, Smitty? What's your take on this whole situation right now?
Well, I don't pay attention to college football like that. So it's, I'm more of, once they get to the pros, then I see what's up. Or bowl game wise, I mean, I hear about Michigan, but Michigan and Michigan State, that's talked a lot locally. But otherwise, I mean, you're talking about, like you said, like what you guys are saying, college sports, especially football, it's extremely political. Could it be a lot more diverse? Yeah. I mean, Alabama is a team that should always be around, and they should, because they're just that good. But at the same time, there could be a lot more of a mix-up going on with it, because there's so many schools that do step it up, and you really don't hear much about them. It's more of a one-off. And sometimes those one-offs could be because, because of who it is. You know? I'm pretty sure there have been numerous times where you've seen players, excuse me. You'll see teams put up ridiculously nice records and then don't get bowl bids. You know what I'm saying? And then the following year they don't do as well, and it's like, see, that's why they didn't. Like, no, man, like when teams come up and they hot, let them get a shot. Like they should have a chance at getting, that main stage presence. Because they're all in the NCAA. They're all in 1A competition. Well, for the most part, there are some schools that aren't, but that play 1A schools at times. But then they need to be. There needs to be more diversity with the system. But like I said, you got the power schools that'll always be around. It's just going to be like that. And it's unfortunate. I'm not with it. I don't like it. But it is what it is, though. I just look at it for the entertainment, but it just sucks, though. You know what I'm saying?
I completely understand where you're coming from. I just look at it as, it would just disgust me. I mean, because I understand that UCF, yes, NYK, you were right. They are behind Michigan. I did see that on Tuesday, and I was pretty upset about that because I felt like UCF should be ahead of Michigan because Michigan got their doors blown off them on Saturday. Everybody witnessed that in the country, watched that massacre. But anyway, I know with their quarterback situation, UCF, he going down, that really did hurt them pretty much as well. Now, they do have a conference championship game on Saturday. I'm going to watch it. I don't know about you, Smitty or Sim. I don't know if you guys are going to watch it. I'm going to watch them play Memphis, see if they can go 12-0 again, and get to that New Year's Six bowl game that they're going to be in, because obviously they're not going to be in the Final Four unless something absolutely crazy happens this weekend. But I just don't see UCF getting there. I hope they get a great New Year's Six bowl though. But I want to ask something else though. Who do y'all got in your Heisman race right now?
Ooh, man, I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like what you're saying too about old boy's numbers is better than Tua's.
Kyle Murray.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I feel the same way about the Heisman, man. I feel like as long as Alabama keeps winning, it's probably gonna be Tua. It's probably gonna be him because I think he's had a lot of big moments. As much as, like you said, the numbers is not like he's killing, the league in numbers. There's other guys who are doing as good or better. But I think it's going to come back down to the same situation. If they keep winning, it's Alabama. Of course they're going to give him the Heisman. That's how it's going to go.
You think so? Even if Oklahoma wins their Big 12 championship on Saturday? You really think so?
I do, man. I think that system is corrupt, man. I really do.
What about you, Smitty? Who you got? Well, I know you say you don't watch college football.
I don't pay attention like that, man. So, I mean, it's whatever to me, man. Like, and I mean, like what Sim is saying. Look, my focus is on college hoops right now, and watching Duke and watching that boy Zion, freaking LeBron Williamson. You know what I'm saying? And the dang on college just running over everybody. That's got my attention.
Gotcha.
Them boys, because them
I ain't
boys
on
gonna
the
be out
train,
of
man.
there. Hey, man,
I'm
hey,
not on it yet.
hey.
I think he's dope, but I just don't. We gotta wait.
See,
Yeah,
look,
I agree.
This is what I'm saying about the LeBron aspect. I'm not saying he gonna go to the NBA and average 28, 8 and 8 or something like that. I'm saying this is what if LeBron went to college.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
That's it. So we're saying high school dominant potential LeBron James, how he was just running over everybody. And he, instead of just leaping to the pros, he goes to college for a year. Just think if LeBron went to Ohio State for a season, which I think he said he was going to go. But if he did that, he would have ran through for one season and then he would have dipped. It's the same deal with him. That's all I'm looking at it like. I'm not looking at it like he's LeBron James, NBA ready now. But if you already got players in the NBA watching him and saying, I ain't trying to stand in front of that, yeah, okay. And he got a jump shot too. That's the other thing too. He already got the jumper. LeBron ain't have the jumper at first. It took him a while to develop that jump shot. I would say a confident jumper to rely on. So you got a guy this size. You get him on a good regimen, which I would hope he would, follow through with. This dude could come into the NBA and in a few years really be beasting like that. He could. Not saying he will. But I don't see too many people that in the NBA right now that are honestly going to stand in front of him and stop him from getting to the rack without tackling him out of midair.
That's a big boy, man.
That's a big man. This dude, it's like when LeBron went to the NBA and got bigger, people threw around how tall he was, what his weight was. Oh, he's 240, he's 260, he's 280. Actually, he's close to 290. Like, they kept fluctuating his weight. We already know this dude is big. He was big in high school, just tomahawking, blocking shots, doing all this stuff. And now he's in college and he's doing the exact same thing. It don't matter who they play. They lost to Gonzaga because they ain't giving him the ball. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you got a guy that's doing that already, yeah, okay. I mean, he's going to make a big impact in the NBA, especially with the NBA being as soft as it is now. Oh, man, he's going to come in and have fun.
I don't know, man. I gotta wait on this guy because I don't trust. See, with college basketball, I don't trust college players going to the NBA. It seems like it takes them a few years, just like college baseball athletes, to get acclimated to the pro game. That's just my opinion on it, though. That's how I feel about it. So it's gonna take him a little bit, man, because I mean, he might get drafted by Cleveland. That place is a mess right now, and especially if he goes there, it's going to take him a few seasons before he's ready to take that team to the next level because they got to build around him in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah. They'll definitely have to build around him, no doubt. So,
Daddy, but I definitely want to get back to this college, football, discussion, though. So, Sim, let me ask you, bro. Do you think Pittsburgh can they upset Clemson for the second year in a row?
Nope.
You don't think so?
I don't think
not this year.
Clemson, man, that's a team. I've actually watched them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They look a lot stronger than I thought they were. There's no way. I don't think Pittsburgh upsets them. I don't see it.
Okay.
I don't see it. But again, college football is crazy, man. I mean, it's games. I remember last year when I was like, oh, that's a for sure win. I mean, even like you said last week, I'm thinking this year, the way the teams were looking, I thought, oh, Michigan, Ohio State going to be good. In Michigan, I thought they had a chance to actually win that game. And we all saw what they did. I mean, that was, my God, that was pathetic. I mean, I mean, wow. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't even look like well, I don't want to say that because I know that's a thing that we say as fans is, oh, the team wasn't prepared, or they wasn't up for the game. I don't believe that. But if you look at it, they look like they forgot what game that was. Like, this is arguably one of the biggest rivalries in college football. And y'all got stomped. And I didn't see that coming. I was one of the people saying, I think this is the year that Harbaugh is going to get him. No.
I was on that train. I was on that train with you. I was on that train with you.
It didn't happen that way. I mean, Ohio State made it look easy.
Yeah.
So, I hate going out on a limb, but I just don't. Nah, I think Clemson gonna smash them, man. I don't see them. No, I don't see an upset at all.
Okay. Well, let me ask you on this one. How about Oklahoma, Texas? You think Texas can win it for the second time in a row? Win the Big 12?
That one I'm not sure about because I haven't actually seen Texas play. So I'm not really familiar with, what Texas has been doing. Because I'm kind of like Smitty, too. Like, I catch college football from time to time, but I don't follow it as tough. Obviously you see some of the big boys, but I haven't actually seen Texas play this year, so I don't really know how stout their team is.
Gotcha. Well, for me, boys, I'm looking at it like this. I'm ready for this weekend. Friday night, I'm going to kick it off with the MAC championship. Buffalo, Northern Illinois. Now, Buffalo has been balling this year. I know a lot of people don't watch the MAC, because I'm just that college football guy that sits around on Tuesday nights while everybody else is probably playing their video games. I'm just sitting here watching college football games like the MAC and stuff playing. So, because I like little schools like that, because they have stars that, you kind of looking at in the draft in the 5th, 6th round, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I kind of look at that as well. So, that's why I like watching those little schools. But I'm gonna go ahead and take Buffalo in this one. I think Buffalo will win the MAC championship, man. They have looked phenomenal this year, and I've been watching them. Now, they did get their butts kicked by Ohio, but Ohio is not the team they're facing in the MAC championship. Didn't really watch Northern Illinois this year at all. I wasn't able to catch any of their games. I usually get to catch one, but I wasn't able to catch none of their games this year. But I'm going to go ahead and take Buffalo in that matchup. Now, the Pac-12 matchup, the Washington Huskies versus Utah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Huskies, man. I think the Huskies have found themselves again. That defense is playing lights out again. And remember this, guys. Washington is only 3 plays away from being undefeated, okay? Just remember that. 3 plays. That missed field goal at Oregon, which was a chip shot. They should have won that game. Missed the field goal. That, what other game they lost? That was a close one. That Cal game they lost. I don't know what the hell they were thinking about taking their starting quarterback out for a series. I don't know what that was about. But anyway, lost that game to Cal. And then they lost another tight one to Auburn at the beginning of the year, week 1, which the kicker missed another chip shot field goal. But we all know the old adage of college football, never trust a college kicker. So, there you go. So Washington's that team that could have been undefeated right now. We could be having a totally different conversation right now. So I just think Washington is going to beat Utah. Utah's look phenomenal without their starting quarterback. Their backup looks great. But I don't know if he's ready for this type of stage, though, guys, to be honest. Another championship game. I'm going to take UCF over Memphis. I know NYK and I kind of got a little discussion in the chat in there. Not to sleep on Memphis. Memphis has been hot lately. I don't know if any of y'all have been watching them, but Memphis has caught fire the past couple of weeks. So that's gonna be a little competitive game. I'm very disappointed in Houston though, because I thought Houston was gonna be the team to come out to face UCF in the championship game, but they fell apart over that whole controversy with the jacket thing. I don't know if you guys saw that with Ed Oliver and his coach. Coach told him to take off the jacket. He wouldn't take off the jacket. I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, apparently he had a Houston Cougar jacket on the sideline when he was injured, and coach told him to take the jacket off. He wouldn't take the jacket off, got in the coach's face, and all things spiraled out of control with that team since that happened. So I don't know what's going on there. But Sim, I gotta ask you, man, who you got? Georgia, Alabama. Who's it gonna be?
Alabama.
You gonna take Alabama?
Yeah, man. I think that team is too talented, man.
You think so? Even though they were tied 10-10 with the Citadel at halftime?
Yeah, but but that's what's crazy? That's the thing that gives me more confidence about them is that's a couple games they've been like that. And then like they scored 40 points in the second half in that game.
True.
Because I remember when it was, like 10-10 or 13-13 or something, and then look what the score ended up being. And they've done that a couple times. I just think when it's crunch time, Alabama's not going to lose. I hate it, too, because I'm one of those guys that I love success, but I hate, like, dynasties, if that makes sense. Like, even if it was I'm going to be unbiased, even if it was the Steelers and we won 4 consecutive Super Bowls, I'd be like, I would enjoy it, but it's like, I don't like seeing the same thing over and over and over. And Alabama just seems to just be the powerhouse that's always there. But they're good.
You know what, Sim? I'm going on a limb, man. I'm going to say this live on your show. I'm going Georgia, man. I think at some point, man, you got to get through this, man. Georgia's been so close, man.
Yeah,
They've been so close, man, to close the door. They just got to close it, man. I'm going with the Bulldogs, man. It's in Atlanta. They'll kind of be at home. It'll be like a home game for them, man. I'm going to go with the Bulldogs, man. I think that revenge factor's in their mind, man. They know they should have won the national championship last year, man. They know they should have finished the deal, man. That's got to motivate them, man, to come out here and prove to the world that last year's loss in that national title game was a fluke, bro. I think Georgia will come out and win that game, bro. I got Georgia going to the playoffs, man. I just somebody's got to knock off Alabama, man, because I don't see them going undefeated the whole way, man. I just don't. Alabama always slips up once, and this is the game I feel they're going to slip up, man. I think Georgia's got all that tape. They seen Tua. They seen that game last year, how everybody was telling them that they aren't as good as they think they are. I think Georgia's motivated, man. I think they're going to come out here and they're going to keep it close. I don't think Alabama's going to score 50 points. I think they're going to score their lowest total in this championship game. I think it'll be a 33-30 game. I think Georgia wins on a last-second field goal.
What happens if Alabama loses?
I think they still get in. I think they still get in, regardless. Because unless Georgia blows the brakes off of Alabama, I don't think the Big Ten or the Big 12 championship matters if Georgia wins, especially if it's a field goal game. Because I think the committee has proven with keeping LSU in the top 10 that Alabama's in regardless, whether they lose or not.
That's another game, man, when LSU played Alabama. I was like, oh, come on. Because LSU was looking strong for a minute. I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, I know it's hard to judge with college because you got to look at who they're playing. But I said, okay, they look decent. So I thought they would at least give them a decent game. Nope. That wasn't the case.
Their offense stinks.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
So who you got? Northwestern, Ohio State, man.
I'm going to go Ohio State.
I'm going to go with Northwestern, man. Look, man, the reason why I'm going to pick Northwestern is because they're the only team in the Big Ten that went 8-1 in conference. They, in their division, they were 8-1 conference. Now, granted, everybody's going to talk about, Northwestern lost their non-conference because they went 0-3. Yeah, true. They lost their terrible non-conference. I get all that. But you can't knock them for going 8-1 conference. The only loss in conference was to Michigan, which subsequently lost to Ohio State, which subsequently gave up 50 points to Maryland. So, and Northwestern has come on strong, man. They played really hard in these conference games. So, I'm going to go with the Wildcats, man. I think the Wildcats will win this game. I think it'll be a close fight in this game because I don't believe what I saw last week was real. I think that is BS, all right? Everybody can talk about and be prisoners of the moment, talk about, Ohio State's defense back and don't worry about the rest of the year. No, man. I'm never going to forget that Purdue butt kicking they got over there. All right, I'm not gonna forget that anytime soon, bro. I watched that with my own 2 eyes. Purdue demolish Ohio State.
Yeah,
I'm never
crazy.
gonna forget. All right, forget all that. All right, I don't think Ohio State players are gonna be up for this game because I think they're gonna be too high over their victory over Michigan. They figure we're gonna steamroll Northwestern. Northwestern's heard all the talk. They're a 14-point underdog in this game. Northwestern's playing with house money in this game. They have nothing to lose in this game. They know if they don't win, they don't go to the Rose Bowl. Okay, that's fine. We'll go to the Cotton Bowl or whatever. That's cool. 8-2 in conference. It's been a great year for the Northwestern Wildcats. Great year for them. They're not really a football school. It's an academic school. So this is a great season for them. Whether they win or lose, it doesn't matter to them. But if they win, Sim, if they win, they go to the Rose Bowl. They go to Pasadena to play the winner of the Pac-12 championship game. So, with Ohio State, they're looking towards the playoff, man, because they get the late game. They get to see what Texas and Oklahoma do to find out what they have to do when they play their game. So, I just don't know, man. I'm not picking Ohio State because I don't trust their defense. I'm going Northwestern. I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. And I can see Northwestern stealing this game by 2 points or less, to be honest. I can see Northwestern stealing this game. Because I really don't believe in their defense, man. I don't. Now, the offense, they can score with anybody. They play like a Big 12 team. They can shoot it and fire and score a lot of points. But that defense, man, I'm sorry, Sim. I'm not believing that defense. You could be prisoner of the moment from last week. I'm not falling for that. Not at all.
We'll see.
No way. No freaking way,
man.
But
real quick, guys, just to give y'all an update, and remember I said this. Looking at this Cowboys-Saints game, and Cowboys have impressed the heck out of me. It's 10-0, Cowboys. But let me tell you something. Saints defense just forced a fumble. Y'all know how momentum works. This could be the turning point in the game. So far, they have shut down Breeze. They pitched 3 and outs. They are right now on the Cowboys' 39-yard line. And mark my words, this could have been the turnaround moment that changes this game. We'll see. We shall see.
Shall see. So, Sim, let me ask you one quick question, though. As far as college football, man, I know you don't watch it a lot, but how do you feel about the college football playoff being expanded to 8 teams? Because I've gotten into this debate in my DMs on Twitter a lot with people. Now, I got my opinion on, but what's yours?
I think it's a must-have. You got to extend it to more than what it is now. Come on, man. 4 teams? Because, again, my opinion would be, of course you want the power conferences. Well, I ain't going to say you want, but of course you're probably going to get those guys in there, the 5 guys. But I think there should be an opportunity for a Cinderella. If you push it to 8, you might throw UCF in there, teams like that, and let them battle each other. Because I feel like if college is the step under the NFL, right, then why can't it have at least 2 levels of playoffs where, the NFL has multiple rounds, but why can't college have first round, second round, done? That 8 to me would work. And then you play the championship. It's not like, I don't think you could go with the whole, well, it's too much football. No, it ain't. Because only 8 teams going to make it. Or 6. I see somebody in here say maybe throw 6. But I think, all in all, it needs to be more than 4 teams. Because we shouldn't have to sit around and say, man, Ohio State should have been in there. Or, man, this team should have been in there. Or, let's say if Oklahoma gets booted out, oh, they should have been in it. You see what I'm saying? It's like, if you got 8 teams, there's no argument. You should clearly be able to see who are the best 8 teams in football at that point. And strength of schedule. You can still use your strength of schedule and all of that.
Oh! Pardon my interruption, but that tight end just fumbled right there.
Yeah, man, I was just about to say, whoa, they about to give it right back to the Cowboys, but they got it back though. But it looks like they actually calling it incomplete. They challenging it. I think, it looked like a catch and they recovered it. So I don't know who's challenging the play. Or maybe I got it turned down, so maybe they ruled it incomplete, and Sean Payton is probably challenging the fact that they did fumble and recover because, they'll be closer to the end zone or whatever.
And that almost looked like targeting, too, because he lowered his head and hit him right in the helmet. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was a bit crazy.
But for me, the reason why I would disagree with you that the 18 playoff will work this year.
Yeah, maybe not this year. But I think going forward.
If you look at the rankings, Sim, do you want to have a debate between UCF and Florida right now? Because I won't.
Yeah.
I don't want to have that debate right now. Because there are going to be some people that's going to say Florida should be. If we have an 18 playoff right now, some people will say Florida deserves to be the number 8 team over UCF. And they have 3 losses. I don't agree with that, but that's what some people will say. Florida's a better team. I don't know how, but I mean, that's what some people argue.
What do you think it should be? Should it stay at 4, or we want to see more teams?
For me personally, I want to see it go to 18 playoff personally, but not this year, man. I mean, because you're gonna have people arguing Michigan. I mean, you want to get in this debate with Michigan? They didn't even get to the conference championship. Now Michigan deserves a shot at the title? For what? I mean, if Ohio State doesn't win, I mean, are you gonna put Northwestern in the title right now because they won the conference champ? Are you gonna bump them from 21st to 7th? I mean, how would this go? I mean, let's say Northwestern wins. Do you bump them up 14 spots? Even though they lost all 3 of their non-conference games? I mean, do you want a 3-loss Northwestern team in the final 8? I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, that's a no.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still the same. Like, you have to make the decision either way. I think it should be more than 4. I mean, I don't know what the right number is, but I definitely think it should be more than 4 teams. I want to see more opportunity for a team to get a real shot.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
What you think, Smitty?
No, I agree with that. Like, it needs to be more of an 18 playoff. I would love for them to have a straight blown out playoff tree. 16. There's enough teams in 1A football. Do a 16-team playoff.
Now you and I are going to disagree on that one.
Oh,
go ahead.
Gotta have, I'm just saying, because there's more than enough schools. Why not give them the opportunity? You do basketball, you got 65. So it's like, why not do the same thing over here? Now, I'm not saying 65 teams. What I'm saying, though, is like have a 16-team playoff and let those teams go at it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that really mix things up, because you would have, wouldn't it be crazy to see a team lose that shouldn't have lost, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of getting to that final championship game and everything? Like, it creates that opportunity. And it's more of an atmosphere for things to be mixed up. That's why, excuse me, that's why people enjoy March Madness so much. Because especially those first few weeks, like the first week or those first few days, because it's such a crapshoot. This team could lose to that team. That team ain't got no business losing. You have a team that could play in and mess around and go to the Final Four. But if you have a system where only a handful of top tier teams are able to get in and literally that's it, then there's no outside shot. There's no real outlier. And that's why I'm saying I would like to see it be like your typical playoff tree, 16, and then break it down from there. Give more of a chance, and it creates more mystique. Because, like what you guys been saying, basically, it's more of a it's a politicking system that's going on. So it changes things up a little bit when there's not as much politicking going on. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? The politics can be watered down a little bit because you have a playoff. You know, you have more teams that are in the pot, so to speak. So
I got you.
that's all.
But if we're gonna take your current format right now, if we look at the rankings right now, do your 16-team playoff right now, the first round matchup is Alabama versus West Virginia. You really want to see that game? I mean, think about it. West Virginia plays no defense just as bad as Oklahoma. You really want to see that matchup? I mean, this is what you would see. And then your also first round game would be Clemson versus Kentucky. Kentucky has no offense. That's a blowout. I mean, honestly, Smitty, I would hate 16 teams because of that right there.
I don't think it's fair to look at it like that because I guess what I'm saying is it's the same thing like you said with college basketball. You get them random matchups that you know it's going to be a blowout. I mean, hey, you see that in the NBA. Sometimes you're like, oh, that's so. I don't know if we should look at it like that. If they're going to expand the teams, it's just got to be what it is. It's going to be a situation like that eventually anyway. If they expand it more than 4.
But the reason why I brought that up is because if you go to 16 teams, you know, I don't know if teams like a Kentucky will get ranked in the top 16. You see what I'm saying? Even if they're having a good year. You get what I'm saying? Because remember, this comes down to 13 committee members in a room, all right? That some of these committee members have ties to some of these universities. That means 3 of them, because 3 of them have ties to 3 of the universities in the top 16, if we were going to Smitty's format. I'm just using his current format. And they have to exclude themselves from the room. So they don't even get to discuss who should be in the top 25. All right? Well, if we were going to Smitty's format, it'd be top 16. So 3 of those minutes have to leave the room. So that leaves only 10 people to determine 16 teams' fate for the playoff if we do Smitty's format instead of 13. We're down to 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer. All I know is it should be more than 4. And however they figure that out, great. Because I think it's the reverse argument with 4. And we've seen it since the playoffs has been in there. People saying, no, this team should have been one of the 4. They have to get more than 4 teams. I don't think it's any way possible to make it fair. Or, not even fair, but for people to agree with who makes it when it's only 4 teams. I don't think you're never going to make nobody happy like that.
I just think 8 is the right number, personally, because you get 5 conference champions in. That means all 5 powerful conferences get in, and then you have 3 at-large bids, like a UCF can get in, a Boise State, and somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the perfect format, because all Power 5 teams that win their conference get into the playoff. You got your 5 teams right now. Now you need your 3 at-large bid. You look at a Boise State in the Mountain West. You take a team from the MAC, and you take a team from the American Athletic Conference. Yeah, whoever has the highest out of those 3 teams, those 3 get in out of those conferences, out of the non-Power 5, the highest, those 3 ranked highest teams out of those conferences that win their conference championship, they get in to that at-large bid. There's your 18 playoff, and then we run it from there. That's the way I look at it, because at that point, now we can see a UCF play Alabama. We can see a Boise State take on Clemson or Notre Dame and see what they can do. You know, we can see a team like Buffalo maybe had a great year can get a shot at Oklahoma or a Georgia team. We can see those type of games and see if they can match these power teams on the field. That's the way I look at it. I just think with Smitty's idea, 16, that's a little too much. Because, again, you look at the current rankings, you have Alabama versus West Virginia round 1. I mean, ugh.
Yeah, I think 8 is probably the right number. Definitely. I could see 8. I would be cool with an 8-team playoff. Just more than 4. Another quick update, folks. That turnover didn't do anything. For you guys that are not watching.
It sure didn't.
yeah, what's up? My man Brett Lee is on here now. He's a Cowboy fan, and I'm definitely throw it to you here in a quick second. But, guys, They drove down to like the 2. Drew and Sean Payton, y'all know he likes to go for it. I think it was a good time to go for it. Maybe you kick the field goal, but I think the way the Cowboys are playing, you really needed a touchdown. They decided to spread it out and run it up the middle. Cowboys stuffed it.
I think they should have took 3.
Probably should have, but with it being Sean Payton, though, I know, that dude's going to go for it. But, yeah, maybe you take the 3, you get the ball back at halftime, but look at this. Now Dak takes off and runs. Look at this. But here's the funny thing, guys. I got to say this real quick, Brett, before you go. Eli Apple, my God. That's all I'm going to say. This dude is getting punished out there.
He's getting
punished. I mean, wow. He got penalties already. Wow. It's bad. But what up, Brett? What you got for us tonight, man?
What's going on, man? Oh, my goodness, man. First of all, happy holidays, everybody, man. I'm getting a chance to talk to you guys 2 weeks ago. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm over here watching the game, but it's raining out here in Cali right now, and I got satellite, and now it just right when you were saying that run, it paused. So I don't know what happened. I'm going crazy right now.
Yeah, Dak scrambled for about 15, and they moving the ball. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, okay. So I don't want this to sound bitter, bro. And what's going on, Smitty? I didn't get a chance to say what's up, man.
Hey, what up, man?
No much. And I didn't say what's up to my man. I didn't get his name. What's your name again?
Nightmare K-Hawk.
Nightmare K. What's going on, man?
Not much, dude. How are you?
All right. So first I wanted to just say I had reached my point with this game, you guys. I mean, I don't know what to do at this particular point. 2 weeks ago when I was listening to you guys, you were saying about how Madden hasn't gotten nominated this year. And I mean, why should they? If you really think about it.
Yeah.
Why should they? And not to mention this, when was the last time they even won one? I can't even think of.
Good question.
And I'd have to look that up. I think Madden 08.
Wow. Okay.
Madden 08, they won Best Sports Game. Crazy part is Madden 04 won Game of the Year when they had the first VGA. Madden 04 beat out Halo and all these other games. Beat out RPGs, shooters, and everything for Game of the Year.
Halo?
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Halo was my joint back then.
Wasn't that the Michael Vick year?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was Vick.
Yeah. And so that's my thing. It's like, okay, so if you're doing that, right? I mean, if they haven't won nothing since then, I just don't see, maybe one of my things that used to kill me when I worked there was I used to say that, like, why can't we always try to beat a game of the year? I mean, I'm seeing 2K getting it year after year, or sometimes a show was in the running. And then their own game FIFA was in the running, but you got your own games beating you at in these type of wars, and that should never be happening. Like, it never should be happening, and it's sad. It's really sad that it's happening like that. But with this new patch that came out, it's one of the worst patches. It's just like the game is getting worse and worse. I mean, the collision detection right now is at its all-time worst. And they're doing pre-can animations right now. When you run the ball, they're getting tackled, and there's nobody tackling. And that's because they increase the percentage of people breaking off the tackle. It's like, come on, man. I mean, this is looking worse than a beta. This is looking like an alpha building. And I know they're trying to help us out and improve stuff, but they're not helping us. They're more or less they're going down, basically. And what is this, the 10th patch for this particular year? If I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
Yeah. No game should be having that many patches. And now I'm doubting, I know that the bigger guys upstairs are the ones that are dictating this, but in the same token, I gotta wonder, how how much the programmers know about this engine. Because I mean, the bugs are happening. The other day, I'm playing a game. It was a fumble, and all 22 players got on top of the ball like a pal
Wow.
for 45 seconds.
What?
And
Yeah, the bugs
Yeah.
has been crazy, man. I mean, just
Yeah.
thinking back from the relaunch of the game, oh, I've seen some of the worst bugs ever in this game this year.
yeah,
But I think partly what you said is right. I don't think they're gonna ever come out and say it, but I think you're right about that because, I mean, we can say it now. They rushed Frostbite in the game for 18.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm pretty sure this cycle they were still ironing it out. However, what a lot of people don't know, and I don't think this is something that I can't say. This cycle was still short for 19 because they spent so much
Yeah,
time for
exactly.
18 trying to stabilize it, and next thing you know, they working into 19's time trying to fix 18. You know, there's
hmm
the bugs are showing.
yeah. It is, and it's just you know, I was last 2 weeks ago when you guys were on, I was listening and I was thinking about like me and my good friends was talking about the whole weather situation. You know how when it's raining they slipping all over the place, and I started thinking. You know, he had a good point. He said players make the adjustments about different type of cleats they wear. You know, to stop them from falling. That stuff don't happen like that often because now they take the right precautions. And yeah, I know that it's a good little feature per se, but not to that degree where it's 3rd and 10 and I need that hook route and he slipped right as soon as you hike the ball. Like, come on, man, that's not gonna happen at that particular point like that. You know, and it's happening on the offense more than it's happening on the defense. And that's the thing about it too, because the offense knows where he's going. It's the defense that has to make the sudden cut. So, why didn't he slip him more? But it's just something that hopefully they can eventually just listen to what we trying to have them do in the game. But I don't know. I don't know where they stand or what they thinking about doing in the future. But my boys are looking good right now, y'all. I'm really impressed.
I'm blown away, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But see, you know what though? It's not really a blown away thing in that essence. It's like, okay, simplest way to put it is like this. If you have a business, if you invest in your business, it's gonna show. If you're making good money time and time and time again, and it's like your facility or what you have in your facility doesn't improve, or you're not hiring more people, whatever, it's like, well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're reporting all these good numbers. You're making revenue hand over fist. You can afford to broaden the horizon. You know that, right? It's
Yeah.
only going to help you get more money in return, though. You know that, right? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, it's like you got a 2-story house. We only going to focus on the basement. We only going to work on that. We not going to work in the bedroom. I know you sleeping on a mattress with milk crates, but just hold on. Hold on. You'll be all right. Okay? You'll be all right. I'll throw you some money, We got to finish putting this heated marble floor in the basement first, though. But we'll get to the bedroom, though, in a month. Sometime we'll get there. No, it's like invest in your whole product. It's easy to tell when your product ain't being invested in. Just look at this. Look. You know how many times we've seen on Twitter and people talk about, man, because the code and it's old code base, man, and because how old the code is, man, man, hard for us to do this. So that's the case there. What about FIFA, NHL? What about other games? MLB The Show, NBA 2K. So what, or like what tech are they running on? I mean, they have aged core technology too, but yet look what they're all doing. They're pouring in. And it's very clear to see that how much they're pouring into their product altogether. That's why when you see me and Sim talk, it's like this. Core gameplay team, I want you to build me a house, but I'm only going to give you a hammer and some nails. Literally. That's it. Just a big old box of nails and a hammer. Now, Ultimate Team, we gonna give you that brand new 2019 Craftsman full blown out set and everything. Yeah, we gonna get you all them tools and everything, right? And on top of that, I got these. I had to help y'all out a little bit, so I went and found some of the top architects that are gonna help you sculpt and design this thing. Okay. And then I got y'all more hands on deck, so that way you got more builders to help y'all build y'all vision out. And then all the while, you got the gameplay and the CFM people over there saying they're like, well, dang, hold on. Gameplay guys, we just got a hammer and nails. You got my man John White over here with a saw and some boards. So what are we about to get? Well, once we done with our Ultimate Team build, we'll see what we got left over, and we'll throw you a little something. We'll do a little something for you. No, man, and that's how the product come out. It's like, yeah, we did this for gameplay this year, but there should be more. There should be way more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got RPM in the game. That's a big deal. Don't get me wrong, but see, which is now it's been nullified to. It's pretty much non-existent to an honest extent now. But you do that, and you add all these animations, players getting hit and all that stuff. You made it challenging. You made it tough for people to run the ball. It's just like when we saw what happened in previous Maddens. People were getting sack fumbled, they whined and complained, get the game nerfed. Oh, I can't run. Can I turn off RPM? Oh, don't worry. In 4 weeks, title update comes out. We'll be gone. Don't worry.
Take that right out of there. Don't worry.
Yeah, they water it straight the heck down. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not the workers that are the issue. It's not Clint or when Rex is there. It's not them that's the problem. There's people that call shots that are straight saying, "Man, I'm all right. It's okay. I know y'all want to innovate, but it's all right. No, it's okay." That's why the heck you got Rex up here talking about Clinton had to fight so hard to get off-ball injuries. A ticker appearing at the top of the screen saying somebody got hurt that is on your O-line and all that stuff. He had to fight for that. Excuse me.
It's ridiculous,
you can literally look at APF, and my man 2K Football, he got the tweet out there. Dudes stumbling and grabbing at their thigh and all that.
That's one of the beautifulest things I've seen, man, in a football game. And I remember that. When you see your guy sprinting, charging, and then he just pull up and hold his hamstring.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it was scripted or not, the immersion of that to be like, oh, no, my man is limping. I loved it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's like you see the and I seen somebody had posted on a tweet before. Oh, but what if it was a tournament game and the money was on the line and somebody come up limping? Well, I'm like no. Look, I've talked about this before. NFL head coach had that injury system in there where they had all the parts of the body. So my thing would be
before 2K.
Put that in, and you have to be mindful of your team. So if you're playing salary cap, rank, whatever, you got to be mindful of your squad, because if you got that receiver that took a few good shots to the leg and it's red and you say, oh, it's last play of the game, I'm going to put him out there anyway, and he come up gimp, you can't be like, oh, EA, it's your fault. No, your dude was hurt, and you chose to put him out there instead of subbing somebody in.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. There's what we sitting at home with this. You think them cats ain't said something like this? Come on, man. And I understand this, good people. Understand it. These dudes in the building have had all kinds of ideas and things that they want to do to make this game authentic. But when it starts to go up that chain of command, that sucker gets knocked right the heck down.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, you had Clint when Gen 4 first kicked off. He had to lobby for freaking pass blocking, double team pass blocking. 2K had it in their game on PS2.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. Like, and it wasn't a feature. Hey guys, we got double team pass blocking in our game this year. Just want to let y'all know. Like, no, it's there. It's part of the day.
Or even with,
game.
or just like how they had stunts back in the day, and they don't have that now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is what
And they
I'm
had,
saying.
and
Oh!
they had. Yeah, he stripped the ball.
Yo, Cowboys balling, man. I'm gonna say it right now.
Yeah.
Cowboys is putting a hurting on these Saints. I did not imagine I was gonna see this tonight.
But this is the type of football we want in our Madden, but we don't get it.
That's what I was just about to say. We would never be able to have this type of swing in Madden. And then I'll be honest in saying, I don't know how you replicate it. I don't. I'm not a programmer. But I want games like this where, you know, you expecting one team to win and then another team come in there and, you know, maybe like, well y'all know this, like a few years back when they had the hot and cold streaks and, you know, maybe you can have that kind of stuff revisited. If you didn't practice right or if your team morale is down, then another team might come in there and give it to you one day. And then, you know, they might not be the best team on paper. I don't feel that from Madden. It doesn't exist.
Not now. Not now.
That's just
I just
like what
feel-
Pez gave you.
I just feel.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, man.
I'm sorry about that.
No,
But
go
I just feel like Madden, though, for me personally, man, and I know this probably going to catch some flack later. I'm going to probably get some flack for this, but I think Madden is basically made for kids now, man. To be honest, man.
No, you're right. You're right.
Because I
you're
mean,
right.
think about it, man. I mean, we had that tweet, what was it, a month ago or something like that? Guy was talking about his nephew and how he got sacked 29 times. I mean,
Yeah. TD
and then
Barrett.
Yeah,
next
but
you know, we got an update coming out or a patch coming out. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. Like, he's got to learn football, man. You got to learn fundamentals. Go in that skill trainer and learn.
But you know something funny about TD Barrett? TD Barrett is the same cat that'll upload videos about him clowning on other people playing Madden. But then when his cousin gets blasted, hey man, this ain't right. I don't like this, y'all. Like, no, don't get mad now because your cousin getting drilled. Show him how to play. You know what I'm saying? Don't just run to Clint and say, I mean, yeah, it was a glitch, obviously. It was a bug or whatever. It was an exploit that he was using. But nevertheless, if you get sacked 29 dang on times, you're not good at Madden. You're not good. Okay, that's just it. You suck. You need to get better, like period, point blank. So that's what I'm saying, man. It's that kind of stuff. The game keeps getting spayed and neutered because folk can't handle it. You know what I mean? And you can make the game with the settings and all that stuff so that everybody can play, everybody can enjoy it accordingly. It can be done. Why is it that when it comes to Madden, it's as if it can't happen? It's just not possible. But yet, you look at all the stuff that's in FIFA. Look at the stuff that's in PES and NHL and the show and all that. All these games, you think what? Adults play all those games, but they don't play. They just don't play Madden. Only adults play MLB The Show and NBA 2K and all that. Like, no, kids play it too. Make the game tough. Heck, that's ridiculous, man. It's a ridiculous. Oh goodness, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. When I heard that, because I think it was that guy who won the Madden contest, and he said the same. He basically said the same thing. Like, hey, it's no different than you playing one of these first-person shooters, and you go on there and you getting blasted. You gotta take your lumps and get better. It's not here to cater, for your kid. You got to get better. And I was with him with that. Like, exactly. It's not about, for the faint-hearted.
Right.
So You got to be. You got to. Hey, everybody. It's a learning curve. Sometimes it can be. I mean, the same thing goes with 2K and MLB The Show and all the other ones. You just can't jump on 2K and just think like I'm gonna play this like the 98 live. No, you got to have some skills up in there now. If you don't know that how you got to do this, then you're just gonna get ran throughout the whole game. So no. They shouldn't change. And that's the thing, like you said, though, when you see these watered down canned animations, then you start to wonder, are they making it for that younger crowd, or are they making it for that novice crowd? Because they just want that money.
That's my theory, though. That's been my theory for a few years, and I've been wanting to tell Sim this for a long time, is that, bro, I don't think it's not that they're not taking Smitty and the rest of the game community's ideas from Madden. It's not that they're not taking them. They are, but the guys above them that makes the calls and cut the check are saying, none of that. We don't want none of that. What we want to do is make this animation so little Jimmy, 12-year-old Jimmy over here, and make that great animation catch with his 97 overall Randy Moss on Madden Ultimate Team. Because Jimmy doesn't play franchise mode, obviously, because he doesn't want to get his kills kicked in. So he ain't gonna play that mode. He gonna play the Madden Ultimate Team where he can have his 97 Randy Moss and do all that crap that you see, in the tournaments and stuff. So that's what their more focus is on. And plus, we know little Jimmy's gonna take his mom and daddy's credit card, gonna go buy him $100 bundle, and EA's gonna get their money back because they put all that time and work into making Madden Ultimate Team. So they're going to get their money back because they know little Jimmy, as soon as they come out with a new pack, guess what little Jimmy's going to do? He's going to mom and dad, get that credit card, swipe for the $100 bundle, get him some great elite players, and he's going to come back the next month and going to buy it again. See, and this is why I always have said this too. I know Sim and Smitty are not going to like what I'm about to say about franchise mode, but I think it's time for franchise mode to start having that type of stuff. Not as far as the MUT content, but I'm saying like, way EA can put downloadable content like the Deuce Douglas thing that he put out, but it's downloadable where you put it in your franchise, but you have to pay for it. Like if you want that scouting combine, $49.99, or you want those just walk out, $25. That's what I'm saying. That's just me.
Nope.
That's just all of it.
No way.
Nope.
Now,
no way. I'm cool with some sort of microtransaction. I get it, but I think what both Smitty and I are saying is I'm not gonna give EA that pass and say, oh, well now we can build franchise because we are no other game has had to do that to improve franchise. So to me, the argument is not whether they should do it. It's don't do it and then try to sell it to us like, well, now we can build franchise. Nah, bro. It's not a must.
I was just looking at it as an idea, Because I'm looking at Ultimate Team where they get their revenue back. Because I'm looking at it from a business standpoint. If I'm going to put all this time and money and pay Clint and those boys to spend mode sim, I need to get a return on that money. That's the way I'm looking at it from a business standpoint.
No. See, look at
my league. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, exactly. Look at how 2K. How come 2K keeps eclipsing Madden in the overall sales?
Yeah,
they're selling over 10 million copies now, and all the issues they run into. People get all upset with microtransactions, yet they keep moving more and more copies. The more copies are moved, the more people are putting VC into their characters, the more people are going to buy those packs and everything. You're making your money. Madden ain't touching. Madden ain't even touching it. They may get close to 7, maybe 8, and that's it. So you're missing out. Me and Sim made this point a long time ago. When it came to Madden and 2K, remember when 2K? When it was 2K5. 2K5 sold 4 million. Excuse me. You got Madden on a yearly basis getting between 6 and 7 mil. So you got at least 3 million people that ain't concerned about picking up this project. At least 3 to 4. So if you actually build out the product, don't you think that's going to bring people back and make them want to play it, especially if you actually back it, like you promote it? You see how FIFA gets promoted and they do all these commercials and all that jazz and everybody plays that game like they do? You do the same thing for Madden, which we see commercials and stuff all over NFL Network. We see it Sundays during the games. They promote the tournament. But if you make the game with the authenticity and all that stuff, and even the modes to boot, people will play it. And that increases you're going to make your money back with not only sales, but people are going to want to play Ultimate Team because you actually have players replicated, not just 22 players on the field, and the only difference is a rating. It's actual players. Like, you actually take the time and say, I'm going to replicate Bobby Wagner, and I'm going to make him look and feel and perform differently than Luke Kuechly in comparison to Clay Matthews, in comparison to this person and that person. That's only going to help your case. But the problem is that, like, how we saw how Madden 17 was promoted. They had Mike and Mike sitting up there, oh, man, this is the most robust, biggest franchise improvement. What?
Yeah.
Look, I went to the studio that year, and I'm like, was there something else done to the game that I didn't get to see? Because you're telling me that these few things make it the biggest leap you did or the biggest franchise refinement? Bruh.
I mean, exactly. Smith, they did it this year. You know, the big thing was, oh, you got the coach in the background. Really?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't ask for that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not asking for the coach in the background. You know, I'm not asking for the fact, like, if you really, really think about the things that they did this year in franchise is that you can implement your own draft. I mean, that's something you should have been had up in there. There's nothing new. And there's some flaws with that. And then, I don't know if you guys have done a draft. Have any of y'all gotten past the first year and did your draft yet? Any of your leagues?
In my online league, we in season 2.
Okay.
We're about to be done season 2 now.
Okay, because you notice you remember how you can see who's been drafted? They don't even show you that no more.
Yeah.
It's a crapshoot.
They took it out.
They took it completely out.
Yeah.
And that's what they added. They added the new stage. Like, I don't care. That eye candy you give me is not even candy. It's just like, this is something that's like not even basic. And then I start thinking, like, man, just think about this. Back in the day, I think it was the 04, 05, or 06 one, and you had the Tony Bruno show back then. It had way more life on the PS2 than it has on this generation right now. And that should not be, man. It should never be. It's so ridiculous from the lackadaisical. And like you said, Smitty, you know, 2K does not have no problems with this. They keep innovating every year. They don't grab something back in the past that they had. They got everything back in the past in there. They moving forward. One of the best things I love about MLB The Show. MLB The Show will bring in a new way to play the game, but they will never take away the old way you used to play the game. So you can still have the newer style of controls, or you can still play with the old style controls. Madden don't do that. This whole jump cut, man, that's been a joke. The jump cut is just that pass thing that they had last year.
I just want to say something, though. Now, you did mention 2004, but remember, guys, you know, EA's had a lot of turnover since then. So there's new people in there that are not there, that were on that Madden stat back in 2004 that aren't there now. So we got to understand, with all that turnover, you know, new management came in, they probably have a different vision for Madden back then when we had it in 2004. So we also got to take that into account as well. I'm not trying to make no excuses for EA, but I'm just saying, though, that's how the corporate world works. When somebody new comes in and takes over, their vision for whatever you selling might be different from your predecessor before them. I'm just saying.
No, that's valid. It's valid, but it's inexcusable, though, at this point, just from a product standpoint. I mean, you can not have a clue as to what you're doing, but still do the right thing. That's what I'm saying.
That's
like
what
the
killed
Lions,
the game.
Look, the Lions are not an 0-16 team. Our management sucks, but at the same time, we're not that bad. Like they're at least serviceable. They're doing better, like just by default. So that's what I'm saying. Madden isn't even by default outdoing. Like, and has 2K had changeover? Yup. Every single one of these companies have had changeover.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's like,
yeah,
go ahead,
hiring, I'm sorry, man. And the hiring that they do is based on the resume that you present. You're gonna have to have some type of skills in knowing how to develop what they want you to develop. They're just not, they do hire some people that know how to program. I get that. But it's some football sense people that they know that they need to hire as well. And they do that. So it's no excuse for them to be, because some of the other guys have left. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, the majority of the people that have left, it's a reason for it. It's not like some of them had left because for better opportunities. But look at our man that left, my man that left, the producer that left earlier. We know why he left. We know it wasn't because he had a better opportunity. We know the reason why he left.
I know exactly why.
Exactly.
One day he's going to allow me to tell it. I keep putting that in the air because I want him to hear this. One day I'm going to tell y'all exactly why he left.
Yep.
But it ain't it's not my story to tell. But
exactly.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, I got you. But we also got rumor guys. The guys who cut the check call the shots, man. I mean, we as consumers can complain all we want, but at the end of the day, we got to get to the people at the top, man. We can sit here send 100,000 videos to the death. They're not the ones calling the shots. They're not the ones cutting the check. The people above them are cutting the check. The only reason why I know that because I work in the corporate world, so I know what that's like. That is the most frustrating thing. When you are trying to give a product to a consumer, you know what needs to be in this product, but the people above you are like, nah, bro, we ain't doing none of that. We doing this.
Yep.
See, and this is where, just looking at a comment, guys, and we had pretty much got 5 minutes left in the show, but this King Zako, he said some of the new developers should have the power to remove basic features that were in previous Madden games. It's not that simple, though. It's not that simple. Trust me when I tell you, and Brett can tell you, because Brett used to work at EA.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do nothing unless your bosses allow you to allot the time and resources for you to do it. You think they could just go in and change stuff and then answer to their bosses and say, "Oh, we just took that out," and then the boss can be like, "I ain't tell you to do that. We need a month worth of production to be over here. What you doing that over there for?" It's not at the dev level. Yeah, go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, and not to mention that's just the first level. Remember, then you got the rules and regulations of the NFL. If they allow you to do certain things, then you got the rules and regulations of Sony and Microsoft if they allow you to do things. So it's just not like we say I did. You put it in there. You got to go through all these different type of levels and layers and see if you are allowed to do that. And a lot of people don't understand that. It's unfortunate, but a lot of people just don't understand it, but it is what it is. And like you said, man, the guy on top is the one that's making these rules, making these decisions. And I don't know, maybe we need to have a battle, like a Star Wars Battlefield revolt and be like, nah, we ain't buying that unless you guys change something. But
yeah, because that's where the beef is. If you guys haven't noticed, Smitty and I say this for months and months and months and months, maybe even years. I'm through beefing with it ain't the devs. I don't know how many times we got to say that. We are really complaining as much as we do now, hoping that the right people in the corporate area hear it. And that's why I told y'all a while back, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to keep saying this in case it happens. I wouldn't be surprised if guys with our type of mentality at some point is not, heard as much or not involved as much. We're going to see. 20 is going to tell me a lot.
I agree with you, Sim. 20 is going to tell us a lot, bro.
Yeah, they might not want to hear what we have to say because, speaking for Smitty as well, on behalf of Smitty, we get a little pushback from time to time, and people not really feeling the angle that we're taking. But we ain't gonna stop doing that. I just want everybody to know that. So if they listening, I'm not gonna stop doing what I came in the door doing. Yep. So y'all make the call. We'll see.
Yeah, to be honest. I mean, even and piggyback over what Brett said, even Maximum Football, I follow their Twitter page, and they always talk about how they got to get approval from Sony or Xbox when they make an update. So that tells you right there that it's not the devs. It's the people above them that's making these calls, regardless.
Well, the difference, though, at least in their case scenario, the direction of their game is not being changed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the difference. I mean, they're independent. They're an indie game, so that's different. But when you look at Madden and everything that's going on, it's not Sony and them saying, hey, you guys can't have a game like that. It's people. That's an EA thing. That's an EA executive decision being made kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. It's like, look, I know people are hoping for XFL to be, hey, 2K, make a game for them and everything, since they hinting at it. I honestly would be cool with that, regardless of how rough it would be, because at least it's somebody else, and it's a viable company, like a top-end company that's putting out a football title.
Yeah.
And heck, if they just build off of APF and make it more robust, I mean, yikes. You know what I'm saying?
Give us a franchise mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool part about that, well, at least the potential cool part about that would be, like Sim and I have said many times before, that'll make EA step up, and they'll be like, oh, they doing what? Hey, Clint, all that stuff that y'all needed, hey, y'all got it. Here's a blank check.
Let's
go
bury
ahead
them.
and get who you need to get and bring them all in. Yeah, you know that glitch issue that you've been having for the 5 years? Yeah, we went to England and found this scientist that just does nothing but that all day. Just number code. He's going to fix all of it. So don't you worry. I guarantee all of a sudden, everything in the world is going to align at EA. Oh, we want to give y'all the best quality product possible. Yeah, it'll happen because somebody there to push you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why investor calls, it is frustrating, but excuse me. But I understand, you know, you got to talk that talk. You got to talk that, oh, best in class, this is the best innovation and everything. I'm like, you're the only football game on the market.
Exactly.
I mean, you can literally add 2 new cosmetical changes and put the same game in the box, literally. And you could make that same statement. There's no one there to go against you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you're going to be best in class. Of course you're going to be top. There's no other game to go up against you. So, but, like I said, I know we got to wrap it up here, but like I said before, a few weeks ago, that's why I say Madden is not best in class. Like, if you look at it from an industry standpoint, as far as sports games are concerned, Madden is not a best in class title. In comparison to these other sports games out here, it is nowhere, not even close.
Yep.
So, and that should be a shameful part, not on the devs because they want to do things, but that should be shameful on the part of EA. Yeah, you're getting your money, but the thing is, it's like you're okay with getting a little bit of money when you could be making a lot more if you actually made the game authentic. You know, and as they said this on Operation Sports years ago about FIFA, because PES was beating FIFA in terms of sales and people playing it and all that. They said, as far as development-wise, they went for authenticity in their game. They said, let's skip the gimmicky stuff. Let's go for core gameplay authenticity. And now, I mean, licensing plays a part always. But still, even with that being said, look at how FIFA is selling, I mean, retarded amount of copies they sell a year. And at the same time, all the Ultimate Team money they make. You think Madden can't sell between 10 and 12 million copies a year?
For real.
Yeah.
They easily could be.
They could.
Yeah. So invest in your product, bring that uniqueness to the project. I'm telling you, people will be spending all kinds of money on Ultimate Team, buying all kinds of, and who knows, they can even put some monetization in the franchise, and some people will bite on that. But it's got to be a robust mode in principle. It can't be like what Deuce Douglas talking about and saying, hey, if you want the rest of the work we did that you should already have, pay X. No, put all that in the game. All that stuff that's supposed to be in there, put that in your game. But if you got something additional that's like a little touch on the side, if somebody wants to put money in, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I would be cool with the combine stuff. Like, you know, if I want to get a little more information on this player, then, you know, maybe I could spend VC or whatever you want to call it, and I can get a little more info. But, yeah, oh, man, I'm so done with Madden.
Yeah, man. I mean, but you know, we say that, and we do every other day. We still playing this dang game.
Not me.
Well, y'all playing the game. I'm playing Formula One. I don't know about y'all.
I only play it, honestly. I only play it in our the league that we play in, and all of us always sit here and we be like, man, we just do it from camaraderie. Like, if it wasn't for the league, I wouldn't be playing at all.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, to be honest, my game I've been playing is at golf club.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I heard that.
That game, nice, man. My God, dude. And I mean, I golf in real life, so it's like, oh yeah, this is a joy, you know. So if you guys get a chance, play that game, man.
You guys get a chance also play that Formula One 2018, man. You talk about simulated racing game, my God.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard that.
You get you a 20 people lobby in that game? Ooh, man. There's some trash talk going on in that race. Woo.
Yeah, like my man in the chat here said, I'm on that Red Dead and Battlefield. That's all I've been playing lately.
Yep. Sim, I got to get your player name, man. I'm in the Battlefield.
It's the same exact name.
Okay. Yep. I'll get you.
Well, man, this was a good, entertaining show here tonight, man. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. I'll let you brothers sign out. Go ahead, Hawk, man. Any last words you want to throw out there?
Yeah, man. I just hope chaos pursues in the college football championship games. And I hope somehow, some way, the committee says, you know what? Let's go ahead and put UCF in there and let them fight it out with Alabama. Let's get it over with.
That should be.
That's all I hope for, man. And come on, Northwestern, man. Make my dreams come true. Get to that Rose Bowl, man.
What you got, Brett?
I just want to say, hey, man, I hope my boys can pull it through. It's 13-3. They got the ball back, and my boys is about to get the first down. So, other than that, hey, fellas, let's just keep it moving. Keep it going forward. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to get everybody to see what we're trying to talk about, and hopefully talk to you guys soon.
Yes, sir. Well, you guys both know, man, we appreciate y'all coming on the show. We'd be happy to have y'all any given time. Definitely thank you for coming on. What you got, Smitty? Last words for the show?
Shoot. Okay. No, man. Hey, like always, man, you know, Brett coming through, Nightmare coming through, man, you know, and everybody in the chat hanging out with us, breaking some good bread. I'm sitting up here getting schooled on some collegiate football since, you know, wasn't following it, but no, nevertheless, though, it was a lot of fun, man. And yeah, see, we just want, well, honestly, if Madden gives us the depth we want, we can talk about it all year.
That's
thing, it, man. That's literally it. Give us the depth. Give us the depth on the field. Give us that unique gameplay. Just like what happens in FIFA. What happens in NHL. Like, I could play those games and have a story to tell about what happens every week. I mean, every game I play. Like, I can have stuff to talk about all the time. Madden can do the same thing. Franchise mode. We can talk about all kinds of things in there. Gameplay-wise. All kinds of things in there. And if we choose to dabble in MUT, we can talk about that stuff too. But that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? We just want the game to honestly be diverse so that way we can enjoy it. That's it. Literally.
That's it. We could be talking about it every week. It's so funny watching this game here tonight, man. It's going so off script. Look at the time of possession. And Dallas ain't even having a big running night. What's so amazing about this game is the Saints are the #1 rush defense team in the league. Ooh, they just got that big time. And they even showcasing solid pass rush against the Cowboys. But the Cowboys are doing just enough to keep the ball out of Drew Brees' hands. And when Drew Brees has had it, that defense is locking down. This is amazing watching what's happening in this game, man. And we just don't see. There's no way would you really feel like this could be replicated in Madden? That is a serious problem.
That's the sad part. Yeah. But see, I could feel that way if I play. As sad as it's to say, APF, I can to a degree. Excuse me. I could get that replication.
Look at this, man. Saints defense all over them. It's gonna be interesting come down the stretch because I feel like Breeze and them are gonna figure it out. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch this whole game. I got to go. I got to go to work in the morning. Y'all know Friday is my crazy day where I got to commute. But oh man, I might have to be tired tomorrow. I need to see this game. But all right, guys, we enjoyed it, man. Next week we'll be back, and we apologize for not announcing last week. Smitty and I didn't even think about it, but I guess it was understood with it being Thanksgiving. But, you know, hopefully we'll have some more things to talk about next week. And don't forget, man, you all could be a part of it as well. Just like, you know, Nightmare Hawk came on. He hit us up on Twitter, said, yo, I'd like to be a part of the show. And boom, there you go. And then, you know, you could call in like Brett did. So don't forget, give us topics, please. There's not a lot to talk about, especially with Madden not being on the up and up. We're willing to talk about whatever. The Sim Standard Podcast is just a place for us to talk gaming, sports, whatever. Please provide us with topics, and we'll be happy to discuss them. But outside of that, we catch you guys later. Hope everybody has a good weekend. Hope your football team does great, except if you are an LA Charger fan. All right, catch y'all guys next week. Y'all be easy. Peace.
Peace.